Hey everyone, it's another beautiful day. It's Ryan Rice. So on today's episode, I want to go over with you the underspin. You know, I've been fishing it now for about a month, and I kind of want to go over with you what I've learned and how I like to fish it. So the underspin has become one of my newer favorite baits. You know, it's been out for a while. I just kind of jumped on the bandwagon just within the past month with this bait, and it's actually producing a lot of fish for me. To me, it's almost like a chatterbait. You know, you got a blade on it. It's just a different kind of blade setup. Instead of having the vibration, you got the flash from the blade. But your soft plastics that you can throw on this is what really, in my opinion, attracts those fish. I pretty much run the underspin with a paddle tail. This setup's from Rumblefish. This is a 1/4 ounce underspin with a very little willow blade on it, and I've been running their paddle tail, which I think this is about a 4-inch paddle tail. I've asked them if they're going to make some larger ones. They said yeah, because I'll actually like a 6-inch, you know, like a 3/8 ounce with like a 6-inch paddle tail when I want to be a little bit more bigger, because I think this is going to be really tight on my rod a lot now, like my crankbaits and everything else. This has caught me fish more than the chatterbait, so it's why it's becoming more of my one of my favorite baits. So, you know, the underspin I think is a great addition to your arsenal, and in the past month I've changed how I've fished this as far as rod and reel. You know, I started out with a spinning rod. I liked it, but you know, obviously you're not as accurate with a spinning rod as you are with a bait caster. I went to a bait caster. I was throwing it on a medium heavy, and I just thought it was too much for this bait. So if you throw this on a bait caster, I suggest throwing it on a medium power bait, you know, medium power rod. I've gone back to throwing it on a spinning rod, even though I'm not as accurate as I am and can't cast as much and as fast as a bait caster. Even though I do have medium power bait casting rods, I think I'm going to keep fishing the keep fishing the underspin on a spinning rod setup. I know it sounds weird. I have a little bit more control over it when I'm fishing it, and with a spinning reel, the speed of it, I can slow it down a lot more than a bait caster. Most of my ratios are 6.2. I think most of my spinning rods are probably like a 4.7, maybe a 5. I don't even know, they're a lot lower. I tend to fish this a lot slower, and I think that's the key to the underspin, is not to burn it and fish it slow, is what I've learned in the past month. But the underspin is just catching me fish. Now I'm sure once I get a little heavier of an underspin, like a 3/8 or whatever, or a 1/2 ounce, I'll probably fish it on a medium heavy rod. But this 1/4 ounce size, I feel like, is a good size. And you know, I fish this around a lot of structure because it has just a single upper hook, and I fish it around a lot of points. It's just been producing, and it's great. You can run this, you know, above grass beds, you can run it around a lot of structure, and you can run it in open water. And what's nice about running in open water too is it's just like, you know, it's a jig, so you can cast it out, you can let it sink. You know, it doesn't hurt it letting it sink, and you might even get a strike on the way down, because as it's going down, that blade is spinning. You know, unlike a chatterbait, it may, you know, flutter a bit, but the underspin, as that's going down, it's spinning, so you're going to grab some attention right off the bat. So just let it sink to the bottom when you're in deeper water, and just retrieve it really slow. And you can pause this too, which is nice, and just retrieve it really slow. You know, that paddle tail and that little blade of the underspin, I think, in my opinion, works best at a slower speed. It gives time for the fish to see that, you know, that blade reflect off the sun, reflect off the light. And you know, that paddle tail is just moving, you know, nice and steady and slow. And I think that's key to fishing the underspin, in my opinion. You know, maybe I'm wrong. You know, maybe people fish these and burn these, but I feel like it should be fished slowly. I will fish this bait because it's a smaller profile. I will fish it even when there's not much wind or ripple on the water, and I will still fish this because it's not super oversized of a bait. And I think it's more that paddle tail action. You know, that blade just grabs the attention, but it's still like you're just running a jig with a paddle tail, you know, like a jig head with a paddle tail. That blade just gives you that extra little bit of flash. So you kind of want to run this bait slower, is what I found out. And it feels like it even retrieves better at a slower rate, because when you're going too fast, you know, you're bringing that bait to the surface and you're not staying where it should be. So a nice steady retrieve. You know, another great bait to throw on from rumble fishing is their little swim bait. Another good profile bait. It's a little bit bigger than the paddle tail, but this has a nice action to the tail. Look how nice that looks. Definitely nice. It feels nice coming through the water. You know, please comment below. You know, this is a newer bait to me, but I'm just giving you what I've learned from it already. But please comment below, you know, different ways you fish it and what size you fish and how you fish it. Your different soft plastics to throw in the back. So the Underspin has been our new favorite bait. Caught quite a few fish on it lately, and I hope this video helped you learn a little bit more about the Underspin and how we rig it. So as always, stay safe on the water, and I'll catch you guys on the water. Thanks for watching.